Hey everybody, Daniel Gade here with a Facebook Live town hall. Excited about hearing anybody's questions and excited about engaging with you wherever you happen to be right now. I know it's a Tuesday afternoon, so I hope if you're at work, you have permission of your boss to be on the computer right now doing this. Couple of questions that I thought would be really interesting to engage with on this is first, I'm Daniel Gade. I'm a lieutenant colonel, a retired lieutenant colonel in the U.S. Army. I spent 25 years, more than 25 years in the Army. Started out as a private and ended up as a lieutenant colonel, 25 years later. And during my time in service, what was really great is that I always had a mission and I always had a purpose, and the purpose was to serve the Constitution, to protect and defend the Constitution of the United States. And so when people ask me like what interested me in joining the Army or what made me interested in joining the Army, I always say, look, it was just about service and about what a great country we live in. And we certainly do live in a great country. And so I'm proud to serve. I was proud to serve then, and I'll be proud to serve as your next United States Senator. Virginia needs a real change from the swamp-dwelling, swamp ethics creature that we have in charge of in our Senate seat right now. We need a real change. Next question pre-submitted on here was, are you on the ballot? And the answer is absolutely yes. Through the efforts of dozens and dozens of volunteers from around the Commonwealth, we were the first to submit we're the first to pass pre-check and the first ones to get on the ballot. It was awesome. Ultimately, we submitted more than 17,000 signatures and got on the ballot on the moment it opened. It was really, truly awesome. It was a great performance. And here's what's cool about it. The coolest thing about it of all is this, that we didn't pay for a single signature, not one signature. And other campaigns this year and in previous years have had to pay to get on the ballot. They have to hire people to go out and gather signatures, and we did none of that. We did it all with volunteers. And, I'll tell a couple of stories. One is my friend Bill Willis in Lee County. Bill and some of his friends out there, Jeff Arrington, Mark Caruso, and others gathered hundreds and hundreds of signatures by themselves without ever having contact with staff. It was awesome. My friend, a bunch of friends in Shenandoah Valley did signatures on their own without any sort of guidance from headquarters. It was great. And then in the beach, in Virginia Beach, and in the whole Tidewater area, I have just great volunteers there. And actually, the second district was my strongest district overall. More than 2,000 signatures came out of the second district by itself. It was truly an awesome performance, all by volunteers. So I'm really proud of you guys. Thanks for starting this movement. And now we begin the field program. So we're going to really start attacking on getting door knocking program and letter writing and letters to the editor and all that stuff. It's going to be really great. Mark, my friend Mark Arden says he likes that sandhill crane. I shot that crane in Texas. There it is. I shot that crane in Texas in 2012, and Mark was there. It was pretty awesome. It was delicious too. And actually, that's a perfect segue to the next question, which is, do you support the Second Amendment? Yes, I do. I know that the Second Amendment is not about sandhill cranes or the deer that are in the other room or anything like that. The Second Amendment is about whether or not we have the right to defend ourselves. And our founders were smart enough that they knew that the purpose of the Second Amendment is not about guns. It's about defending ourselves against tyranny. I was the first, and so far the only, candidate to release a formal written statement endorsing the Second Amendment sanctuary movement. I'm proud of my friends who marched from around the Commonwealth in virtually every single county. I think 92 out of 95 counties and most of the independent cities had some kind of Second Amendment sanctuary march, and I'm proud of you guys. Proud to stand with you. It's the right thing to do. And if you have any questions about whether God has given us the right to self-defense, go grab your dog by the back leg and yank, and he's going to turn around and bite you. And the reason he's going to do it is because he has the right to self-defense, just like we do. And so this is not about guns. This is about preventing tyranny. I have and use a concealed carry permit. I carry pretty regularly, at least when I'm in the Commonwealth of Virginia. So yes, I'm 100% supporter of the sanctuary movement, the Second Amendment and the sanctuary movement that goes with it. The next question here on my computer is, where do you stand on school choice? Here's the answer. The best way to have government do things is to have government do things as close to the people who are affected as possible. So when the federal government, way over there, tries to do things, it always does them clumsily. It always wastes money, and it always applies uniform solutions to everybody's problems. And it's the wrong approach. Instead, what we need to do is we need to push decision making as close to the user as possible. That means that parents are the ones who should be choosing their school situation. And if you want to send your kids to public school, that's awesome. You should do that and be involved in your school board. Be involved in run for school board so you can make good decisions as close to the students and families as possible. Next question: the biggest waste in our government right now. That's a tough one, right? What is the biggest waste in our government right now? We have a lot of waste in our government, and it all comes down to this: the Constitution of the United States gives the federal government certain particular responsibilities, and everything else is pushed to the people or to the states. It's called the 10th Amendment, and the 10th Amendment is really, really great because of that reason. So it's almost impossible to answer the question, what is the biggest source of government waste right now? But it's basically any time the federal government tries to do things that are best left to the people or to the states. That's the 10th Amendment, constitutional, limited government, conservative point of view on that question. This next question is about coronavirus. Great, important question. Obviously, wash your hands. Obviously, don't, if you're sick, stay home. All of that, yes, of course. But I really do feel like there are a lot of people trying to stir this up into something it's not. We have far more deaths from flu, far more deaths from other preventable illnesses per year than we're likely to get with coronavirus. But I would say this, it seems to me that one of the things we see the numerator, the top of the equation. We don't see the bottom number on the equation. So for every person who's sick and dies even, there's a whole bunch of people who are sick and just get better on their own. That's the denominator. So if you have one person who's sick and we know about 10 people, that's 1 out of 10. But if there's one person who's sick and there's 10 people we know about and 9,000 we don't know about or 10,000 we don't know about, then the equation is totally different. So don't panic. Just do normal things. Use antiviral stuff. Maybe find ways to do things other than shake hands. Definitely, if you're sick, stay home. All of that. But look, our economy and our people are robust. We're strong. We can do this, and we don't need to panic about this. Definitely don't panic. Panic is always worse. All right, so this is a great one. Okay, so Tia Harp Murphy says, have you served in the military? And I guess, Tia, that you missed the opening statement. Yes, I served in the military for 25 years. I enlisted in the Army when I was 17. And then a year later, I went to West Point and graduated from West Point in 1997 and served for 20 years on active duty in the Army, including I was wounded in combat twice and lost my right leg at the hip in 2005. So yes, I've served in the Army. I was proud of my Army service. I am proud of my Army service, and I thank all my veteran brothers and sisters out there. Super proud of you. And honestly, we think about this Senate race that I'm in now, and I think, this isn't about the Senate or House or government or anything like that. This is just about service. And it's about the same kind of service that I've always done, which is service to the Constitution. So that's what this race is really about, is service to the U.S. Constitution. All right. So let me see. On which issue would you work with the other party right now? Well, that's a great question. Thanks, Sarah. So one question I really love, or one thing that the Democrats seem to be willing to work with Republicans on, is the question of criminal justice reform. I'm a big fan of criminal justice reform. I think the president has done a good job on this issue, and he's and the administration and the president and the Congress together are doing a great job of finding ways to, when somebody does something nonviolent and they end up in jail for a long time, does that really serve justice? And the answer is, yeah. I mean, in some cases it does. If somebody is trafficking huge amounts of drugs, it's nonviolent, but it harms a whole lot of people. But if somebody is trafficking or using a small amount of drugs, maybe maybe we can rework the sentencing structure so that it does not affect minorities differently than it does people who are non-minority, that it doesn't affect men different than women, things like that. So there's a lot that can be done on criminal justice reform, and it seems that the Democrats are willing to work with this president on that question. Okay, I'm looking through here. Brent, oh, hi Valerie. Brett Duckworth, sorry about that. Madison Downs, what's up, Madison? Good to see you, brother. Okay, let's go down here to some more questions. Why are you the best candidate in the Republican race? So, the interesting thing here, there are a couple other candidates in the Republican race. There's only one other one who's made it on the ballot, I think. We'll see if the other ones get on, and then we'll go on to the primary in June. So as you're looking for somebody to be United States Senator, you need to look, I think, what you need to look for is, do they have the right principles to do to be good in that role, right? I got 4 principles, and they're on my website, gadeforvirginia.com, GADEFOR, Virginia.com. 4 principles are really easy. Strong national defense, limited government, constitutional fidelity, and free market systems. As you look at those things, hope my connection didn't just get disrupted there. Okay, somebody give me a thumbs up if I'm still good here. I think I am. Okay, good, thank you. So as you look at those things, you need to have, if you're going to elect a Republican to serve in the U.S. Senate, you want somebody who can be committed to and articulate those principles in a real way. 2, you want somebody who is capable of doing the work. And if you look at my biography, again, gadeforvirginia.com, I served in the White House under President George W. Bush when I was on active duty. I later served as a political appointee in the Trump administration. And so that was another, and then I've served on a couple of national level boards and committees, and that was all my work. And then the other things that I've done, I co-founded a $15 million nonprofit experiment from their disabilities. So I'm ready for this work. I'm excited about this work. I'm committed to our shared values, and I will defend our shared values. I led my soldiers in combat, including a firefight one night where I was wounded for the first time and was decorated for valor. So I know what it's like to fight, and I will fight for our shared values. I can promise you that. All right, let's see some more questions. All right. Okay, Brett, great question. The question Brett asked is, campaign use the most right now? What the campaign can use the most right now is 2 things. Well, 3 things really. One is, please go to my website and sign up. There's a volunteer tab or a get connected tab. Please go sign up. And so we can know what you're willing to do to volunteer, because now we're transitioning. We've gotten the ballot stuff out of the way, and we're transitioning to the full field program. My field director is a guy named Lauren. He's doing a great job. A couple other guys. My Western is a guy named Kyle. My Eastern is a guy named Jacob. My Northern is a lady named Valerie. All these folks are doing great work. And so what we're going to do now is transition to a full field program. Lots of volunteer opportunities coming up. So go to the website, gadeforvirginia.com, and sign up so that we have track, so we know where you are, we know that you want to help, and then we'll add you to our volunteer roles, and we'll be in touch in the next week or so as we transition to the full program. And part 2 is, these campaigns are tremendously expensive. We already have thousands and thousands of donors who have donated money to the campaign. We've raised, I don't know, we'll have to see by the end of March how much money I've raised by that point, but it's quite a lot. But the problem is we're running against the richest person in the U.S. Senate, so it's going to take more. So whatever the current number is, we need a little more to get the message out. I mean, really, this is about messaging, and it takes, just like it takes ammunition, as I know, it takes ammunition to fight in a firefight. It takes money to fight in an election, and so I'm going to fight for our shared values. And if you go on the website, gadeforvirginia.com/donate, you can throw in money in the campaign, and that would be great. And the third thing, this is really important, is if you are capable, if you're willing to do it, and you can pray for us, that would be awesome, because my family and I are definitely going to be under attack. We're under observation already from I've got a Democrat Party tracker who comes to all my events. You're probably on here now. Hi, Jack. But the thing is, pray for me and my family as we go through this, because it's not easy. It's hard work. It's not the hardest thing I've ever done. I've done harder things than this, but this is real work. So please pray for me, pray for my wife, pray for our 3 lovely children. There we go. Warner's weaknesses. Hi, Ron. Great question. Warner has a lot of weaknesses. His main weakness, I would say, is this. For the last 11 years, he's been in the Senate. And before that, he was in the governor's mansion in Virginia. And before that, he was a sort of a, we'll talk about this later, but basically kind of a swampy ethics sort of businessman. And then before that, he was a Senate staffer. So this is a guy who is a law school graduate who's never practiced law, and a businessman who's never actually run any important businesses. So what we have in this race is really cool. We have a career servant versus a career politician. And Mark Warner is a career politician. And I think America generally, Virginia specifically, I think we're sick of career politicians. And so Mark Warner's most important vulnerability is that he's a career politician and people are sick of it. In 2008, when he told a buddy of mine, oh, in 12 years, I'm going to be president anyway, so I'm definitely in favor of term limits. And in 12 years later, in 2020, he's not going to be president. I'll tell you that right now. I hope he's still in favor of term limits, and it's time for him to term limit himself. And if he doesn't term limit himself like he said he would, I'm going to term limit him for us, and you're going to help me. So I really, really appreciate that so much. Thank you so much for that. John, yes, we're going to term limit him. Have you signed up, John, for to volunteer? John Davis, sign up to volunteer. Gadeforvirginia.com/get involved, I think, but you'll have to go to the website and check it out. Kathy, thank you for praying for us. Appreciate that very much. Denise Green from Lynchburg, thank you. From Chesapeake, hey Julius, nice to see you. Bill Qualls, my favorite person from Virginia Beach. Got lots of favorite people in Virginia Beach. The rest of you don't say that he's my favorite. There we go. All right, so throw me some more questions in the comments here. I see there's quite a few people watching. One of the other things that I think is really great is that, everywhere I go, I'm hearing the same message, and that is that the people of Virginia are ready for the next phase. And as you look at 2019, what happened in Virginia was a travesty. Outside money and inside apathy flipped the state from one way to another. And now the Democrats have done what the Democrats always do when they get in charge, which is badly overreach. They badly overreached on guns. They badly overreached on abortion. They badly overreached on surrendering our sovereignty to other states through something called the National Popular Vote Compact. On every issue, the Democrats have gone way overboard on this. And I think now Virginia is awake. I think that the conservative majority in Virginia is awake. And even a lot of independents and Democrats, I've had people coming up to me saying, hey, I'm a Democrat and I typically don't vote for Republicans, but I'm excited about voting for you because they're trying to take my guns, or because they're too extreme on abortion or whatever. And so I'm really proud of that. I think that's great. I think it's time to flip this seat back to the other side. Beverly, good point on redistricting. Yes, it looks like they're going to agree to at the state level, they're going to agree to a bipartisan redistricting or nonpartisan redistricting thing. I hope that's right, but we'll see. We don't know. Rachel, great question on what's my stance on abortion. I'm pro-life. I think that we can't have any other liberty until we have the liberty of having our lives in the first place. And I can defend that from a religious point of view, of course, easily, but I can also defend it from a sort of secular point of view. We know what's going on in the womb. We know that's life. And so what can we do to protect that life? What can we do to enhance that life throughout the pregnancy and then after pregnancy too? So, my wife and I have a rule. You're gonna love this. We have a rule that whenever we're in public, we always say hi to babies. And the reason we say hi to babies is not just because they're cute, mostly. Some babies, not so sure. But if you're watching and you have a baby, your baby's really cute. Anyway, the reason we say hi to babies is because we want to help create a society little by little that is welcoming to women and babies. When a young mother is working really hard to take a baby out in public, we want her to feel welcome in doing that, because we think it really does cause people to have a better those mothers to have a better experience. And so that's one thing we do. And I'm committed to family policies in the U.S. Senate once I'm elected. Very hard. Okay, so Joan Towns, again, a Second Amendment question. I know you probably didn't get on this thing until the very end, or till close to the end now. I'm 100% pro Second Amendment. I'm a concealed carry permit holder. I believe this is about the right of people to defend themselves against tyranny, defend themselves and their families. It's not really about guns at all. That's what the left mistakes here. It's not about guns. It's about the role of government in our lives. And if we believe in limited government, we must also believe in our own right to defend ourselves. Kathy Glass, when will I be coming to the West Point area? The West Point question always cracks me up, because I taught at the West Point, the United States Military Academy, for many years. I went there. I've been to West Point already. I'm coming back through again, and I'm excited. I hope you'll help me find you, Kathy, when I come through town. Chesapeake, Newport News. Okay, here we are. Well, this is really fun. So, Brett Duckworth, again, great question. You're killing it with the good questions. Brett's question here was, what is your position on the UN and its perceived overreach? Here's the thing. I'm an America First guy, and I'm proud to be an America First guy. So there's no area in which I'm okay with surrendering U.S. sovereignty, U.S. law, to UN overreach. The UN has all kinds of bad treaties they would love for us to ratify, and I will stand against them, because U.S. law should be made by U.S. legislators and executed by a U.S. president, not the other way, not some foreign body. So I am against a lot of that UN overreach. All right. So I think that I am going to, let me see, I'm scrolling through questions here. All right. I want to plug a couple of things coming up. Tonight, there's a event at the San Michel Winery. If you are within however far you want to drive it's Prince Michel Winery in Leon, Virginia at 6. You can come see me at 6. I'll be there. And then I've got a couple of other things this week. If you are in Fairfax County and you're a delegate to the Fairfax County Republican Convention at Woodson High School in Fairfax, Virginia, that's on Saturday. Would love to see you there. That'd be awesome. And then on the weekend of Sunday, March 22nd, I'm going to be in Lee County. So for those of you in the rest of the state, that's the Tippy Tip County. That's my favorite county in Virginia. Let's go there. I've got some friends down there. And I'm going to be speaking at the Lee County Lincoln Reagan dinner. It's going to be great. And then Scott County that night. So Scott County that day. It's going to be great. I'm looking forward to seeing everybody. Please come to some of my events. Encourage others to like and follow me on Facebook. Right on the little like button and hit like. And then I'm proud to be your friends. I'm proud to be serving in this capacity as a candidate right now. And I'm excited about potentially being your next United States Senator. It's going to take a lot of work. So let's work together. Go to on our webpage, Gade4Virginia.com, and click on the Get Involved link, and you'll find a way to sign up. And then we can get involved together. We can do this race together. But listen, I'm so proud of you guys. Thank you very much. I will look forward to seeing everybody on the next Facebook Town Hall, which will be coming up. It'll be advertised right here on Facebook. Thank you so much. Have a great day, everybody. Bye.